Okay, let's help you get your US visa. So today, of course, we are going to go through the DS-160 form, and let me explain that I have been a self-employed person, so for me it has been a little bit more tricky to gather everything, the documents and everything else. So I will go through each of the questions, and if you still have any questions, I will try my best to answer all your queries in the comments if I know it. Please know this is not legal advice. I'm not an agent or anything, so I'm not certified to share or recommend any style of filling out the form, but I'm just sharing here what I have learned while filling it out, considering that I've had a complex background and a complex application. For my visa interview and for the process, I've made a separate video, but for now, let's focus on the DS-160. So going on Google and simply searching for DS-160 form, you can get to this website. You can note the detail. You can note the URL of the website here, and I've also put it down in the description. And once you get there, you can see that you can easily start a non-immigrant visa application, and you have to first check where you're filling out your form. So you have to make sure that you select the right embassy where you will be going for your interview or submitting your application. Now once you're in, you'll already get your application ID, and you have to keep it safe in case you have to retrieve your old application, because there's no email ID you've entered so far. So make sure that you note down this application ID. Then after booking a security question, which is just for you to, just in case you forget your password or something, you can recall this application with this simple easy question, and then we get to the actual form. So the first part is the personal questions.
One eternity later.
Alright, after an eternity and a haircut later, here I am again. The form kept failing, that's why I could not complete the video that day, but I'm here and screen recording everything as I fill out along, so that you can continue and also fill out your form along with me. If you still have any questions, feel free to share those in the comments. Alright, so filling out the name, not very difficult. You will be able to fill that out, of course. And we don't have names like Elon Musk's children, so thankfully we don't have to put the telecode option here, so no for that. And then gender, just one option here. Marital status you can pick here. Date and place of birth, make sure that it matches with the document that you're submitting. For example, your passport, it has to match with that. And also the city and state of your birth as well. So once you have filled all of that out, that's the entire personal information part one that you have to check out in detail. And let's proceed. So there's an option to save and continue. I highly recommend that, just in case you are doing this in parts just like I did. It's easier to have it saved instead of every time trying to fill that out again and again. And then country of origin, your nationality that you can add. And just in case you have any PR or you are a resident of any other country, you can mention that too. I'm going to save and continue at every step here. Anyhow, for the national identification, I've used my Aadhaar card, and that's what you can do as well. In my case, proceeding forward to the travel information, we'll be going forward with B. A lot of you might be watching for F as well, but for now I'm going to proceed with B. And you can see the entire list. If you want to check out the details, there's an I button in the information box that you can click and get to another page which can explain all the visa types. But here I am not confused. I clearly know that I'm applying for the B visa. And why I'm going to pick B1 and B2 in my case is that I want to also mention that I want to stay a little longer, let's say for a week or two, to explore, now that I'm spending money anyway. So I want to explore a couple of cities as well before I leave from the US. So that's why I've chosen B1 and B2, and I suggest doing the same. If you're solely going for just the business and you're going to be leaving the next day itself, then you can go for B1. But yes, otherwise B1, B2, or just B2. And then moving forward, for your specific travel plans, there are two options, yes and no, but I highly recommend putting putting the option that yes, you do have specific travel plans, so that at least you are able to share some itinerary here, and you can add the intended date of arrival, which flight you're coming by. Even if you've not booked and you're still browsing, you can still add the details of which flight you're coming by, and you can also let them know which city most probably you will be landing in. So after filling all of this detail out, you can proceed forward, and you also can add the different cities that you're already aware of that you will be visiting. I've added like just 3 cities here just to demonstrate how you can add them. You can add, remove, and update this as well. And next, to put the address where we will stay in the US, you have to give a very clear address here. You have to make sure that you put either the hotel address if you're going as a tourist, or if you are going to be staying maybe in an Airbnb arranged, or maybe some hotel arranged by your office, you have to put the details of that too. Then we'll be also putting the zip code just in case, and also the person who will be helping you with your stay in the US. So you need to add the details of that one too. If you are going by yourself, then you of course add self, but depending on what is the situation with you, make sure that you add the details of that too. So in my case, let's add that my present employer, who is not in the US by the way, is going to be paying for my expense. And also when you go for the interview, then you have to make sure that you carry the financial statements of whoever is sponsoring your trip. If it's yourself, then your own bank statements. If it's going to be your office people or maybe your client, whoever it is, you should carry some financial proof of, let's say, maybe some savings, or maybe some bank account balance or statements, or something that you can show to demonstrate that they are able to host you and sponsor you. And moving forward, any persons traveling with me, in my case no, but let's say if yes, I'm traveling with somebody, I can add the group name, let's say my company people as well, I can add the name for that too. And then let's save and continue. Very simple previous US travel information, nothing complex here. This is something where we will not spend a lot of time, but yes, in the previous, I think 2 sections, we needed to spend a lot of time. Here you can add whether you had a US visa earlier or not. I assume if you already have a US visa, you'll not be watching this video anyway. So we proceed. If you have been refused a US visa, make sure that you do not demonstrate those reasons of rejection again. And if you have been rejected, you can comment and ask your questions, what happened and how you can improve your next application as well. For the home address, I'm going to insert all of my Indian details, which is my Indian home details. For some people, you might have the same address for your mailing as well as for your residence. But in my case, let's say, for now, we'll just keep it simple and say that yes, I'm staying at the mailing address. And then we add the phone numbers, yes or no. We add the email ID, because you'll now finally be receiving a confirmation on this email ID, so you should give that. Now for the social media, yes, it's very weird. I've never seen this in any other visa application, but you have to add all of the social media handles and the details of your social media as well in this case. And I am present on a lot, so I'm going to add all of them. For now, I'll just show you 2 or 3, but yes, I added like 6 websites here. And also I even added an additional one, which you can also do that just like here. For now, maybe I can say no, yes, you can check if you have any other. For example, you have your own website where you frequently put maybe your personal blogs or something. Just put everything there if you have nothing to hide. And let's move forward now for the passport information. Very simple, straightforward. All of the visas ask for this information anyway. So we'll put the passport details and where it was issued. All of this is on the back of last page of your passport usually, so you can add all of these details checking there itself. For lost passport or had one stolen, nothing for now. And I'll continue. And now this is important, okay? The US point of contact information. There needs to be there has to be a US point of contact, which maybe the embassy or maybe even you, if you need any help, you should have some contact in the US. It could be anybody. It could be your friends, it could be a business associate, it could be your employer, it could be maybe your client, could be anybody. And you have to add the details for that person as well. You need to have the phone number, you need to have their email ID, and also the zip code. If you know that, it's great. But yes, you need their address for sure, so you have to add that. And you also have to make sure that it's correct. So tell your employer or whoever's details you're giving, make sure that they know that you're giving their details. and then you'll be adding your family information. If you have anybody staying in the US, you have to share that here on this page. But for me, nobody stays there, nobody lives there, so no for everything. Even if you have like extended family there, maybe not your parents, that also you need to add. And that's it. That's all on this page. And then we move forward to the work, education and training. This one is going to be the most time consuming page for you. I don't know why it's just so detailed. So you have to find the option here, the best option for yourself. What's your occupation, then your employee details. This is for the present one. And if you're a student, then you add the school details, your college, your university, those details here. And you also need to, if you're employed, you need to mention your monthly income as well in the local currency, in your home country currency. Okay, and then you briefly describe your duties. And of course, this page is just for the present one. Okay, now we proceed to the next page, which is your past employment. For me, this was huge because I had like 5, 6, 7 whatever things to list here. So I wrote all of that in detail. I have to give the details of my employer's address as well, the phone number, the dates when I worked there. It's exhausting, but you have to do all of this, even if you have to go for just 2 days to the US. Anyhow, we continue, and I put all the details here. Let's say one of my past employers, and you also have to write a brief description of your duties. Nothing very long. Yes, there is a lot of space here for you to write, but even if you're able to cover in like 1 or 2 sentences, it's more than enough. And you can add more experiences. Of course, you see add another button, don't skip that. Add all of your past experiences. Okay, and I think you can do up to 5 or 3, I don't know. So you just add all of the experiences that you can. And then for the education institutes as well, you need to do, I have a master's as well, so master's, bachelor's, my grade 12, whatever, I had to add everything. You can see on the right side in the tooltip, they've written that you have to mention all of these different courses that you've done, even for the middle school, etc. So we fill all of that, and then finally we move forward and we then tell about the additional work, etc. And there are some weird questions here, but I think, like, I'm not sure why this question is here. If you belong to a clan or tribe, and then you need to add the languages you speak. And then if you've traveled to any other countries, I had many in the last 5 years, so I added all of them. But yes, you have to add any country that you visited in the past 5 years, so make sure to add all of those one by one. And then after adding this, then we proceed to the further questions. Again, I'm not sure why this question is here, but they ask us if you've been in a charitable organization. I have been, yes, so I say yes, and I also give the details here. If you haven't been, then you can proceed and skip it. But I added the NGO, the name of the NGO that I've worked with. And we proceed, and most of the rest will be now no, and ideally they should be no. Maybe in case of military experience, you might have to say yes, but in security and background, most of it will be no. So you can browse through the questions. If yes, you have to explain everything, but mostly you will see that the answers are no. And let's just continue and see this. Again, if you've been arrested, if you've, maybe related to substance, related to, I don't know, prostitution or money laundering or all of that. In my case, everything thankfully is no. So we proceed and say no to everything. But do read these questions. If you have anything to share, if in your case it's yes for any of these, it's fine. You have a box to explain. Please don't lie. Make sure that you mention the details for that. So we're still proceeding, saying no to everything in my case. And here as well in part 4, nothing much. If you've been removed or reported from any country, make sure that you mention that. And yeah, that's all. Those are 5 parts. There you go. Finally, after all of this time, we're almost there now. So we still have an option to check everything, review all of the information that we have here, and if you want to edit any certain section, any fields in any certain section, you can still go back and edit it before you do the final submission. And before the final submission, you also need to just check your passport detail that it matches, and then it will let you proceed forward and sign the entire form. And now once you have added those details, you can, after doing the e-signature, you will get the confirmation here itself on the website, and then also you will get a confirmation on your email. So this now finally is done, and let's see. So here it is. Yes, this is the final page, the final confirmation. This number also matches with the beginning application number that we had in the beginning, so that's matching. And this is the page, this is the confirmation that you have to print and take with you. Do not go without this. Your visit to the embassy will be useless. You have to take this confirmation slip with you, the embassy. And if you have any other questions before or after this procedure, I've been to the US, I've been through this entire complicated process. It's I would say it's long, but it's very straightforward still. If you have any questions, feel free to share those in the comments. Maybe we all will learn each other from each other's experiences, but especially in case of self-employed, I am that. So if you have any questions about that too, you can ask them as well. I hope this video was useful, and please do subscribe, because it does take me effort to compile all of this information for you. So just a simple gesture of subscribing and liking this video will also mean a lot to me. So thanks so much again for staying till the end.